What's up, world? It's your girl Queen with another episode of What I Said. This week we'll be talking about in laws. Now, you don't necessarily have to be married to have in laws, but you do have to deal with the other side of the family if you're dealing with somebody. So, this week we're going to talk about how you can deal with somebody on the other side of the family, as far it could be mother, father, sister, brother, anybody that's close to your significant other. I've had situations where I've had to deal with in laws that were not so nice, but most of the time, mothers love me, fathers love me. I mean, I just have that effect on people, but I have dealt with in-laws and family that I have not gotten along with, and let me tell you, it can bring strain to a relationship if the relationship is not strong. So we're going to talk about a couple different subtopics in this main topic about dealing with in-laws. I personally feel like it's better to have to for the other side of the family to like you. It is better. Do I give a fuck if they don't? No. But like I said, it puts a strain on the relationship because let's say your significant other's family's having a cookout, and it's a big cookout, kind of like a family reunion type cookout, and they don't like you, and your significant other's going, but you don't feel comfortable around everybody because you feel like either they're fake or they're going to be talking about you, or a fight's going to start, an argument's going to start. It's just going to feel awkward. I'm the type of person where if I don't bang with you, I don't hang with you. That's just my motto. I can't sit around and kiki and smile in your face if I really don't like you. So to me, it just makes it awkward. For me in a relationship, those things matter because, yeah, I want to be invited to things, and yeah, I want to be able to invite them to things just to make everything feel like a family. Again, I don't care for anybody to accept me, but I feel like the relationship is better when you don't have that tension. I mean, you have things like, let's say you guys choose to have a baby, and you have baby showers, you have the baby's birthday parties, you have things like, depending on your religion, christening and stuff like that. So you don't want to not invite or have separate birthdays, and it feels better when everybody can come together and get along. Again, do I care if anybody likes me? No. But you're going to eventually have to cross paths, especially if you end up getting married to this person, or you, again, have a baby by this person, or something, let's say, God forbid, something happens to the significant other, and you guys will want to communicate because everybody cares genuinely about this one particular person. So I had a situation where me and the mother we were real cool. Um, but what I did learn about this specific situation was that the mother is always going to side with her son. Right or wrong, that's her baby. She gave birth to him. She may feel like he's doing wrong, but to you, that's her baby. I had a situation where me and my significant other got into an altercation, we got into an argument. Any other argument, she expressed how she felt and expressed that he was wrong. And for me, I feel like you're a woman first. You were born a woman before you were a mother, before you were an aunt, sister, whatever you may be. You were born a female. So, if you have to put that female role sometimes before being a mother, that's just sometimes you just have to do that. I said, and I stand by this, and my son is only a toddler right now, but I stand by this. My son will never disrespect a female, and I will not always take my son's side just because he's my son. If he's wrong, I'm gonna tell that nigga straight up, you're wrong. If he think he's gonna put his hands on a female, we're gonna jump his ass right then and there. Because he's not gonna do that. Again, I was born a female before I was a mother, a sister, a aunt, a niece, anything. So you're gonna respect the female. So I had a situation where I got into it with, me and my significant other got into a little altercation where we had an argument. He was completely wrong. I'm not just saying it because I'm always right. But he was completely wrong. And his mother felt like she wanted to point out all my wrongs and make excuses for what he did and what he said and things like that. So, um, we after we got into it, the mother chose to have an attitude with me. Long story short, from that little situation on, she acted funny. I didn't know why she was acting funny. Now, still to this day, was never told why she started acting funny, but she completely cut me off. Now, again, do I care? No. But I feel like she was looking for a reason to cut me off because, one, I did nothing to you or your son. Two, again, you're born a woman before you're born anything else. And three, it wasn't a situation where I don't feel like the relationship should have been cut short because me and your son got into it. I feel like a lot of women want to keep their sons to themselves, or they want to choose their partner for them, and they just won't let some of these men grow up. And vice versa. Sometimes with females, like their parents want to choose their partner for them, and they feel like they're gonna find something wrong with whoever they bring home. Any little thing they want to find. To me, out there in this generation, these parents are way different than the parents from back then, when you could just meet a mother and a father and they felt your energy and they felt good energy. You were right for their child. Nowadays, you have grandparents who are 25 years old, as ratchet as can be, and just have no morals, and they're ready to throw any relationship away over something small and something so immature. So I just feel like this generation, grandparents, and generation before this, grandparents, it was way different. I really feel like hopefully it gets better as far as how these grandparents and these mothers and fathers and everybody handle things, but there are very immature parents out here. So I feel like they find the craziest things to beef about, and you're too old to be beefing, but they find the craziest things to beef about. But again, a mother's gonna always choose her son. A daughter is gonna always be right in her father's eyes. So I really feel like morals are definitely gone out the window. Now let's talk about having a new baby in this situation. That really makes it difficult. I have 3 children, and let me tell you, I have 3 different relationships with all of the parents, the grandparents, and the more I think about the older grandparents that they have, we had our little tit for tat stuff, but we're still okay. We still can communicate as adults. It still makes it easy because I'm like, hey, can you come to so and so's birthday this weekend? I'm having a birthday party for her. Instead of having separate parties, everybody can come together. And I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, my daughter has the oldest grandparent, and she's the most mature. She's the one that I can talk to. I can ask to come to the parties. I can say, hey, can she come over this weekend? She can say, hey, can she come over? I feel like she's the most mature. The other two's grandparents, they're younger than her, and they definitely acted. So I really feel like it's a generational thing when it comes to stuff like this. It only hurts the baby in the long run. The baby doesn't get to see that all sides of their family can come together and be mature enough for them. They're going to always have this separation anxiety thing going on because, hey, I got to go here this weekend and here that weekend just because my family can't come together. So it really makes it hard, and that's where the ghetto-ness shit comes in at, because then you got a baby shower where people probably either faking the smile and faking the funk, or they actually sitting up there having an argument. And I don't like fake energy. I just don't. Like, if you're not my friend, if I do not really fuck with you, I'm not gonna just lie to kick it. Like, I'm not. And my 3 kids, 2 of them, I do not get along with the grandparents. Just because, like, they find any little situation and makes it so big. And it's just not good for the kids, because a couple of my children, now I have 3, 2 of my children have gone without seeing their grandparents because we just can't get along. I can be the bigger person. But when you say you have an issue with me and the issue's not something that should have even been an issue, it just makes everything just so unfair for the child growing up. Like I said, it makes them have, to me, I feel like it makes them have separation issues because now I gotta go have two birthday parties. Well, it may, when they're younger, of course it makes it look like, oh, I have two parties. But then as they get older, they can sense and they see the separation that's going on, and they see the ratchetness that's going on. And let's say an emergency come up with the child. Now nobody can communicate because nobody likes each other, because nobody can coexist because they have this issue going on. So to me, in a relationship, it yes and no, it does make a difference if the in-laws or the other side like you, because it makes all of the functions and the communication clear, and it makes it doable for all parties, because there will, us black people, I don't care, we're gonna have some type of function. We're gonna have a cookout because Uncle Bob came home. We're gonna have a birthday party for this one. We're gonna have a little kickback just because. So when you have stuff and I can't bring my significant other because my mother don't like him or her, that makes a difference. So when he come home from that kickback because she didn't go, it's gonna be a problem in the house. She may not say it at that moment. She either gonna find something else to go off about when the root of the problem was the issue that's with the family. It's no way you're gonna tell me it's a relationship out there who the other side of the family does not like that other person, and that relationship is just so beautiful. No, you don't need anybody else's approval. Again, I don't give a fuck if somebody likes me or not. But it definitely puts a strain on the relationship when, and a strain on the other person who's in the middle because his family can't get along or her family can't get along. Now don't let it be a father that doesn't like a boyfriend or a husband. That's definitely, it's a lot of animosity with that. You lose a father who can walk you down the aisle. You lose two men who could possibly gain a very strong relationship. So I feel like it's a yes and a no. It doesn't matter if you care if they like you, but to make things better and easier in a relationship, it kind of does matter. And with, let's say the sister doesn't like you, to me that's a little bit different because sisters, we can bypass the sisters or the brothers, but the mother and the father, that definitely puts a strain at home with everything. Kids parties are all jacked up, then that brings the cousins in who can't see the other cousin. It's just jacked up. And honestly, not even trying to be making it one-sided, but I feel like us black people have this problem the worst. Either other races don't show the issues that they have, or they really just don't have issues, or they just usually just put their issues to the side and put on that fake smile. But I feel like as black people, we've been faking it for how long? For how many years? We just can't hold it in no more, and we just have to express how we feel. And any little thing can make us go off. But we're attacking each other in the end because, again, we're hurting that one person that's in the middle that's trying to make everything work, and they just stressed out. They just like, look, I got somebody I'm in love with. I got my family who I love. And it's like, can everybody just get along? I just feel like the answer to this, the solution to this would just be to communicate. And if everybody could just sit down and have a mature conversation, it, again, family functions and the relationship will be 10 times better. Trust me. I wish I could sit down and have a discussion with my kids' grandparents who so-called don't like me and just get everything out on the table. But me trying to grow and me trying to, stay out of jail for hurting somebody, I just choose not to, sit down and have a conversation. That's a different topic, a different week. But I just feel like if all parties can be cordial and have mature conversations, these things can really be resolved. They really can be resolved. Like, in-laws make it just so much more harder. My thought about if can a relationship be successful without, if everything has been tried, if conversations have been had, and it's just, I mean, everybody don't mesh. They just because they love one person don't mean everybody can come together. Can a relationship be successful if one side of the family doesn't like the new significant other? I feel like a relationship can be successful, but there's always going to be an issue. Like I said, if event come up, a big event, let's say somebody's having a wedding, and you know all the family's going to be there, and your significant other doesn't want to feel out of place, you're not going to miss that wedding for this. Let's say it's a cousin you grew up with forever, but that cousin doesn't like your significant other. What do? That's going to definitely bring issues in the household. Now, of course, she can be a bigger person and be like, of course, go. That's your cousin. They don't like me. It's fine. But deep down inside, that really makes the situation awkward. It makes the relationship awkward. It really makes it awkward. So to try to have a successful relationship and someone very important in your significant other's life does not like you, it will be a struggle. But if both of your love is actually real and you've exhausted all answers to this issue, and you both feel like that you can be mature enough to handle whatever it is you may be thrown at for the rest of your life, if you choose to be together for the rest of your life, then fight for it. Fight for it. But again, it will be a little bickering going on because, things will come up. That's their family and you're their significant other, and it makes it hard. It makes it hard for the one in the middle. I would love to hear you guys' stories about how you get along with your significant other, how you don't, how you possibly resolve the issue you have with your significant other's family, and just give me some advice on how you can make the relationship better. Because I know there's a lot of people out here who are like, I've tried. Like, I've talked and I've tried. And again, like I said, everybody is not going to get along. But if you two come together, because at the end of the day, it's about you two. If you two come together and just realize that your love is bigger than the hate that person has for your significant other, you can make it work. But some people, they have little tricks that probably can help. Like maybe sit down and find a common ground. Maybe if the mother doesn't like you and you both like cooking, maybe you can take a cooking class together, and then you can open up and actually find out that, hey, I didn't like her, whatever the reason I didn't like her, it's really not that big. We both enjoy cooking, so we can both cook together. Or you can accept your in-laws for who they are. If you don't feel like being around them and being mature enough, if it doesn't make you feel out of place, and if you don't feel like you're faking it, if you just feel like you're being there to support your significant other, then do that. Just accept your in-laws for who they are, because some people are just assholes. I must say, I protect my peace at all times, but people will try you. So as long as you're mature enough to be able to just accept your other family for who they are, it shouldn't make or break anything. You know how to excuse yourself when you feel like things are getting out of hand. Sometimes, some of us may get some liquor in us, and it may make the situation worse. So if you know how to excuse yourself and just leave before you see that it's getting out of hand, it's unfortunate you have to do those things. But, support them, accept them for who they are, and just keep it pushing. You can also, I feel like, establish boundaries. Don't bring up certain topics like politics or even parenting styles, because I know a lot of people, they butt heads off parenting styles. Like, I have your grandchild, so now you're trying to tell me how to be. No. So just nip it in the bud. Sometimes bite your tongue, nod your head. Having a therapist, I really learned that you can listen to what somebody has to say. You don't have to agree with it. But you can always listen to their opinion. So if they have an opinion about how you're parenting, just don't let it affect you. Just know how to cut the boundaries, change the subject. Cut the boundaries to where you don't talk about certain topics and you just know those topics. I mean, you're choosing to love this person at the end of the day, and whatever comes with them, whether it be a crazy family member or maybe even a crazy friend. We can just be bigger people and just learn how to just love, because it's just not worth it when you just want to be with who you want to be with anyway and love them forever. So please, y'all, drop a comment. Let us know how you feel about this week's topic. Give us some insightful information on how to help with the struggles some people have with this situation. Or just comment about this week's episode. Just let us know what you like about it, what you didn't like about it, and give us some tips on how to move on from the situation. So, next week, y'all, we will be talking about the pressure of social media. Social media can have so many different impacts on so many different people. It can really help. It really does. It helps. It helps when you're bored. It helps when you wanna run a business. It helps to connect with friends, people you ain't seen in a while. But with all different ages, especially I feel like children, it can really be a negative thing. That's why I don't let my daughter have social media. So we're gonna dive deep into that next week. So you can also leave a comment about that. We can have discussions about whatever you feel may be the pros or the cons of social media. We can talk about that. So just leave comments about next week's episode. Leave comments about this week's episode. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Peace and love.